kind of simple titles, your all-time financial statistics, how many donors we're dealing with, what's their average donation, total donations over time. So a lot of this information I'm pulling from the API that I'm getting from the donor systems that I use. Whereas this stuff over here, I'm pulling from G-Accon and from all the P&Ls and the balance sheets that we pull down. So again, here we have, now I'm breaking it into last month and things like that. And all of this is dynamic. And so on, at midnight on the first of the month, in a couple of days, this will change and say, financial insights through September 30th. And that was a big shift, was when I was able to automate all this, because I used to have to go in with every client and do all these updates and let them know it's all ready. Now I pretty much come into my office and, I can check and make sure that, but by about 5 a.m., this is all complete because of all the automated processes we've built in. So, this is now a visualization of expenses versus revenue for, any business or nonprofit. That can be a really valuable thing to see, and just track it over time, see what are our big months, where are we really performing well, where are we spending a lot of money. We're then able to use, average donation data versus average expense data to get things like our net averages and 12-month trends, as well as things like this, how many full months of, if in the case of a nonprofit, if all of our donors just stopped today, how many months on our average could we just continue to operate just with the cash we have on hand? Several of my clients really like to see that because they just need to know, where are we and what's the urgency. Some nonprofits have steady recurring donations. And so this number doesn't have to be big because they know that next month there's going to be just what they need every month. Some nonprofits like this one, they have big spikes that they kind of rely on the next 6 months for there to be, at least one huge month. And then we can pull in, things like this, our top 10 donors, everyone from last month. And then this is even kind of the new ad with current month donors. So I'll even notify, this was automatically updated, looks like 20, 30 minutes ago. So this is showing the client, what they have and when it was recently updated. So this is kind of the one snapshot. And I have clients who said, what I want to see here, instead of top 10 donors, I'd like to see everyone who gave over 10,000. So I can just change the formula, and we've got what we need there. This is all through, actually, well, some of this is pasted in just for the sake of this, but using queries, using pivot tables, all kinds of things like that. What I'm then able to do is take all the donation data that I have and create these dynamic reports. So far there's been no donations this month, but we can click on last month, and now we've got a quick report of who gave, and this says these were all recurring donations, what they donated, what the fees were on that, et cetera, et cetera. We can sort by different criteria, all the names and, by amounts or things like that. We can see, let's say we want to see the whole year, or we can see last year, or, all these kind of dynamic things. Or we can see a specific date range, in which case we get now some stuff that was otherwise hidden that now pops up that we can dial in a specific date range. So this is really valuable for the client, so they can see what, if they may want to look at, maybe they forgot to really stay on top of it, and they're like, I really want to see what we did in May, where they can go back and find all that data. All of this lives inside of the donor systems that our clients use. But sometimes bigger, more robust systems are just a lot more complex to use because there's so many options there. And this, I find, is 90% of what a nonprofit leader wants to know, is that they just kind of want to know who gave what. Yeah. From there, I've built out some other really helpful sheets like this. I call it the donor monthly details. So now what we can do is we can see over time who is giving on a regular basis. So we can see this donor, they're giving about $150 a month. ongoing like this, and we can see, oh, they haven't missed a month, and that's great.
It's kind of
But
subscription, right?
I'm sorry?
It's kind of subscription, right?
Right. So we would call these, in the nonprofit realm, we would call them a recurring donor. So they set it up and they say, I want to give on the 5th of the month or the 1st or whatever, and it charges their credit card every time. The thing is, sometimes the credit card will get declined, or they'll, it'll expire or whatever. There's fraud. And when if you have a fraud situation, you've got a million things to update. You might forget to update the recurring donations you have to your nonprofits. Well, what this system allows us to do is look at this really quickly, and we can look at this and say, all right, well, this donor, there was an issue in July they missed. They're really steady. We can reach out now and say, hey, it looks like there was an issue in July. Is there anything we can do to help you make that up? And so what this allows the client to do is have really comprehensive data so they can look at all of their information. So this is kind of giving it to us in a, we're grouping it by date, but this is more grouping it by donor and spreading it out over time. So we can see a timeline of what's happening, and spot these visual breaks. And then we're getting, full all-time totals for these donors just to see what they're giving over time. So that's for, some clients, that's all we offer them, or that's all we have for them. Some clients, we don't keep their books, so we just provide donation details. So some clients, their dashboards are really just this and this. But if we do the books, we also have now all the expense side of things. So that's where we're able to do these more insightful charts and things like that. And so this is pulled directly from G-Accon. So this is the profit and loss. But you may recognize this looks a little bit cleaner than what comes down from G-Accon. So what I've done here is, through a number of things, I've created, let's see. Yeah, so I use an import range to pull in. So I've got plenty of hidden sheets here. So this is P&L last month. So this is what comes from G-Accon. And this is what some of my clients see, and they're fine with this. But for some, again, especially in the nonprofit world, the person who's leading a nonprofit may have next to no business skills. And so something like this is just really complicated, and it's not pleasant to look at. So using this now, I've got an import range, so I'm pulling in all the data. We've got some conditional things here that, let's see, where are those? Yeah, here we go. So basically looking for blank rows and things like that, that will allow us to then, I've dropped in some kind of a helper column here, and then built some conditional formatting. So that says basically, if it's a blank row, treat it one way. If the row above it is blank, treat it another way, and blah, blah, blah. So it cleans it up for the client. So this is all now, right here inside the dashboard. And so the client, every month, when they get a notification from me that says, hey, your dashboard's been updated, they can come right in here and see, how did we do last month? How are we performing over time? Who gave what is that looking like over time? And not only how much money did we spend, but where are we spending it? And then, if there's any questions that they want specifics from there, we can go from there. But this gives them, a lot of the data. What this allows me to do too is tell the client what my job is to provide the information. In most cases, I'm not here to interpret it. So I'm not here to say, wow, you sure spent a lot of money on travel last month, or meals with, potential donors or whatever. That's not really my position. My position is to provide that information. Now, if they come back and say, wait, did we really spend what you're saying we spent on meals last month? We can go back in and look at it, but I really leave that up to them to do the interpreting. But they can't do the interpreting unless they have the information. So that's what this is here to do, is provide the information to them.
And do you use automation, G-Accon automation, for your workflow or for reports?
I do. Yeah, I do. So now I can kind of get into a little bit more of the, what's behind the scenes. So I showed you some of this. This is the P&L from last month. So in a case like this would sync up I think I run at 4 a.m. It'll pull down a profit and loss. But in a case of the nonprofits, a lot of times, in this case, is just an example, but it only has one class here for operations. But most of my nonprofit clients have multiple classes here. So they might have operations, they might have special projects, they might have this. And we track all of that through the donation system, which I mentioned, but I have all of that now. I pull that in with an API all into here. So this is, like we talked about, once you have all the data, you can do anything with it. Well, this is all the donation data for the period of time in question, and this is just constantly updated. And what this allows me to do is separate everything by class according to each donation class and month and all this stuff. So what I do is I have some journal entries. So before I can run a profit and loss, we have to apply donations to the appropriate class. It's a little trickier as well because there are credit card fees associated with some of these, and we have to apply the credit card fees to the proper class as well. So that's where the journal entries are really important. Oh, let's see, that's the wrong one. So journal prep. So what I have here is a journal staging area, with formulas that just help me calculate, what month we're in, what's the first of the month, what's the last of the month. I can even do some manual overrides if I need to run a backdated journal here. But what this does is this pulls, so again, in this example, we only have one class or campaign, this operations. So they raised $31,712. And with that, we're $125.58 of credit card donations. So what I do in the books is I classify all donations into a class called unassigned donations. Mm-hmm. And so that's where all of the donations live during the month. At the end of the month, we run a journal where we move however much the gross donation. Let's see. Sorry, this is just an example sheet, and I realized I was off on a formula. That's not right. There we go. So what we do at the end of the month is we'll move all the gross donations that came in from unassigned, we'll move it into operations. So we've got to do that with a journal entry. We have to do that as well with credit card fees. We then bill it to that class and feed it back into unassigned donations because the deposit that we got was the net. So we actually only got, our deposit was $31,712 minus the $125. But we have to bill it somewhere. So we move it out, then we move the fees back in, and now everything's back to zero. Again, this is what I used to have to do. I would calculate all this in Google Sheets, then I would go into QuickBooks and I would create a journal entry and I would say, okay, one journal entry to move all this money and then move the fees back. And I was copying, pasting. There was plenty of copying, pasting error, and if nothing else, it was just a lot of work. Switching between tabs that had multiple classes and categories, it was just a lot of work. Whereas now this is all automatically calculated. And this journal entry, along with a few other, so one of the things we save for, our year-end tax prep, we put $117 into a side class in QuickBooks, just kind of move it out of operations, treat it like an expense. Same thing with insurance savings and things like that. So there's some journals that we run on a regular basis. So all of this, because the donation data is pulled in automatically, this journal prep is organized essentially at midnight. It's ready to go because now this is all of last month's data. But this is not the exact format that G-Accon needs to upload it, but it's easier for me to work with. It's easier for me to see. And so I have so that's my journal prep tab. And now I have a journal upload that is really just it's a query of that other page. So it removes all the blank lines. And you can see here, I have plenty of lines that have zeros because I may or may not need them that month. But this journal to upload, it removes everything, that has a zero. And so now I've got this really concise journal entry, and this is what runs automatically at like 3 in the morning, because my donation data has been updated. Now when I have good donation data, I can run a journal entry. When I run my journal entry, now it waits an hour. And once my journal entries have run, then I can run a P&L because it's pulling down all of the donation data. Actually, this example may be off, but again, it's not real data, but it's, so this is pulling it down. And now once this is pulled down, it drops all of that information into a staging page, which this is kind of where all the magic happens that leads into that home page there on the dashboard. So I've got all my, high level stats of what's being pulled in all time and monthly. And then I have another, I call it the P&L monthly sheet. And so what I use is the G-Accon P&L. What is it? It's just the profit and loss report that allows you to compare past dates. So I do the full, I think you allow 60 months of comparison. So I've compared all 60. And so this goes back all the way through time to the beginning of this organization. And then I've written some simple formulas here that just extract this and turn it into just some usable headings, which then all of this, and I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but calculating, through where this should start, which column should it start in, and then use that to create a list of months and years where, January is just the year. And so now I've got each month with donations, which are pulling from that P&L monthly report, expenses that are pulling from that long report. And then this becomes the source for this chart, because now I have all of this expense and donation data living side by side, all in the same month, and can pull that all up into a chart. So that's kind of the full cycle of how, information goes from donations and expenses all the way down into a simple dashboard that,